Oh, indeed. What is up, y'all? We are live. We're back with another episode of Freaks and Peaks. It's been a while. Not gonna lie in the slightest.
Yeah.
We just been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate. Game of the year contender initially. We'll have decisions about that later on, but yeah, that's what we've been doing. Instead of recording, we just been on. I mean, you guys can take part in that viewing, conversation, discussion. Just join our Discord. We're usually on there. We stream it. We have fun. We chill. We play. But that's why we haven't really recorded in a while. But at the same time, there's been stuff to talk about, but nothing really all of that meaningful, I guess. Nothing that really just kind of strikes it. But we got the homies in the chat. I don't know why the overlay is not working. But anyway, we got the homies Despair.
Yo.
And of course, we got Follow Your Dreams.
Yo.
And we are here. We're ready. We're ready to chat it up. Talk about some of the latest things that have been going on in the world of gaming and beyond. Starting off, I mean, after his fresh off of his meet and greet, I feel like we got to talk about iShowMeat.
Unbelievable.
Right.
Oh man. Y'all can go off on that one. Y'all can start on that.
I mean, well, it's a whole bunch of things because it's a lot of you know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot of streamer news lately of streamers that have been going off and getting themselves in hot water, or just getting themselves I don't know, man. They're just
but there's
fucking
them.
up.
There's them, and then there's Speed, bro. Speed, that's just his whole thing. That's his shit. Just being a complete fucking idiot. So it's part of me wasn't surprised. But what I was more surprised about is that YouTube didn't ban him or anything, or they didn't slap him on the wrist at all.
I'm actually super surprised they didn't ban
Then
him.
it's but then on that note, I'm not surprised
But I'm
about
not
that
surprised
either.
they didn't ban him.
Because
Yeah.
what they gonna do? They're gonna ban him so he can go to Kick, and then because YouTube is already they don't have what they got right now. They got 4 or 5 people. Well, I'm sure they got more than that, but relevant people right now. Speed probably the most relevant person they have right on their shit right now. And they're not gonna let that motherfucker go. They let him go to Kick.
Yeah, right?
As soon as YouTube would have banned him or something, Kick would have swooped in instantly. Bro, as soon as his dick flopped out, Kick was probably rubbing their hands together oh shit.
Birdman.
Yep.
But you know what's
waiting.
You know what's interesting because it's even if they ban them for 2 hours or something, a slap in the wrist.
Nah, Kick would have been there. Yo, Kick would have been there.
Well, I don't disagree with you, but what I'm saying is that YouTube is usually, in terms of if you had to compare YouTube banning and Twitch banning, YouTube is probably more harsher. Am I?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I feel like you don't
I think
hear
Twitch
about
is
YouTube bans as much as you hear about Twitch bans,
Yeah,
no?
Twitch was banning off. Yeah, people get banned on Twitch way more.
Yeah.
YouTube doesn't. YouTube, people get hacked. People get
Copyright claimed.
Yeah, you hear more about that. This copyright strikes and all that shit. You never really hear about people getting flat out banned. Look how long it took for low tier guy to get banned off YouTube. And he's been doing stupid crap for how long? A decade. So let's be real.
I forgot he got banned off YouTube. Yeah.
People straight up showing butt and crack.
I'm going to do a quick summary of the situation. So for those of you who don't know, right? iShowSpeed, popular streamer. If you don't know who he is, you just got to Google his name and you'll probably just get everything that's happening right now. He was doing a stream and he was, something happened in his stream. He was very animated. He started gyrating and he was wearing underwears and bloop, I plopped the BBC. And
That's definitely a way to explain it.
I do like
the meat leak.
The meat leak. Look, listen, the meet and greet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we're calling it.
Yeah, the meet and greet. Yeah. But honestly, I like. As me as a person, this is just me as an individual. No, I don't like meat. I mean, I do like meat. I like a good steak. I like good sandwiches and shit like that with cold cuts and shit. Yeah, that's besides the topic. Anyway, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt based on his reaction, based on, because you see this shit kind of happen to other people and you're just like, they did that shit on purpose. They wanted a little vacation. Right. They orchestrated a fucking little wardrobe malfunction, got their 3-day ban. Now they don't have to fulfill their Twitch contract and they still get publicized, right?
I don't know, man.
I think
Speed
though,
is definitely
with
one of those
Speed,
people that would do that. But
yeah, but I feel like it's different
judging by his reaction, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Don't think he did it on purpose, but of all the people to do something like that on purpose, it would definitely be him. Like, he would absolutely do that shit for the fucking publicity stunt. Like, bruh,
I don't
ain't
know.
no way.
Yeah,
and
because
Speed,
look,
bruh.
Well,
listen.
here's why I say that. Here's why I say that. I think that deals with individual personal nudity because he's usually done shit like, and I know what you mean, like on purpose. He's usually done shit like Minecraft sex mods and showed that on stream. That was definitely on purpose. He was definitely
the
like,
guy fucking look, bro. I'm not even talking about like his gaming shit. I'm talking about the motherfucker be blowing up his fucking. He be lighting the motherfucker's houses on fire.
Yeah, the fucking fireworks.
Literally be saying the most. He be out in public saying racist shit. He be doing crazy shit. Like, yeah. I'm not even talking about.
He's on the line of
he's
edge.
Wild. Like,
yeah. No, I agree.
So it's like if anyone's gonna do something on purpose for publicity, it's gonna be him. But like I said, just judging off of his reaction,
yeah,
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
No, okay. I'm gonna play devil's advocate on that take because every streamer knows the rule, bro.
Yeah, but Speed is also Speed knows the rules, but he's the only person like right now at least that always comes that close to the edge of like he's probably gonna get banned for that, right? Like he never does. Be like he's probably gonna get banned for that. Something's not gonna be right here.
Yeah, there's
like,
no. We all know there's a list of streamers that are just like untouchable, that they will not get banned. But if they push the envelope too far, they just get something like a 3-day ban, a little minor ban. Where if it was a regular person, they perma ban. That's it, done. Like your account is kept.
The fucking images in my head again. Great, this is fucking wonderful. I still can't believe that shit happened. I still can't believe it.
No. Because the thing is, it's like every streamer, like if you're streaming and the camera's like top and you're dressed down and you have nothing on the bottom. Like he knows he had his underwear on, and if he knows he was gonna dance around and do some stupid shit, like I don't know, that kind of seems kind of sus to me, bro.
He I agree. That's like I'm 50-50 on it because he's a kid, right? He blew up. He was like what 16, 15. He's an idiot, right? When you grow up on the internet, like you're dumb. Like not literally. Like the dude's probably smart as fuck. Like he's rich. Come on, bro. The dude knows what the fuck he's doing, but.
If not, hopefully he has a team of people that know what they're doing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like, he has to have a team for YouTube to not ban him. Something had to have going on behind the scenes. Like,
I have speculations about that. We'll get into that. Yeah, I got speculations about that.
Because YouTube would have definitely banned anybody else. Now that I think about it, Twitch would have instantly banned him.
Twitch would have instantly banned him.
Instantly banned him.
It would have been an instant.
Probably not so much.
It would have been an instant ban. 3 days.
YouTube not so
unban.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know, bro. Like 3 days for
3 days minimum. I think 7 days maximum.
Yeah, he has a dick. Okay. So I don't know. Bro.
So
I think he's that big.
How long was all out there? Like.
Yeah, it was out there long enough for niggas and people to know it was a dick.
Yeah, exactly. Long enough. That's what kind of made me speculatory about it, where it's just kind of like it was kind of the pause where it was out there.
Internet.
Yeah,
it don't matter how long it was out. It was out. That's all that matters. It's the internet.
All you gotta do is screenshot it.
Like, exactly.
It's there forever.
Like,
so, I think that although I'm surprised and not surprised that he didn't get a ban, I'm also kind of relieved in a way because it's the whole double standard. Yeah. If he would, you know what I mean? Like if he would have got perma banned or some shit, it's just like, whoa, all right, wait a second.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to talk about this shit without people getting all up in their feelings and being.
It's not hard to talk about. Like,
it's
people are gonna get offended no matter what we say. It doesn't matter.
Of course. But like, it's hard to talk about it without. I should rephrase that. It's hard to talk about it without people getting offended, because it's just kind of like. I was just kind of relieved that he wasn't, and I'm not the biggest iShowSpeed fan. I'll preface it.
I don't even know who he is
right now, and that'll piss off 99% of people.
I am not the biggest fan, but I was
kind
of relieved that he didn't get banned.
I'm not
assuming under the assumption that it was an accident, right? You know what I mean?
Right. Okay, but like, do you feel like the people in charge thought about that shit, about the double standard when they made that decision, or no?
No,
I think they didn't think about that. So. You know what I think? And here it is. I'm going to get into the speculatory. I think he's had to hold some shit where he needs to give them 3 months of ad revenue or something. They just don't pay him out. I don't even
think it's that deep. I think they just don't want to let him go, because
I think they don't want to let him go, but I think they got to kind of, they have him by the balls, literally and figuratively.
They probably did something. They probably like sent him an email, did something. Someone's reached out to him.
They probably got a little something on him.
You gotta kind of think about how much money he's bringing into like YouTube and shit like that, and how easily like Kick or somebody would just swoop in and just pay him a bag and then get him off of YouTube. Like that it's crazy how because I've been following that shit. I don't know if y'all follow, but I follow like that shit deep, because obviously, you know, if I want to stream and late, I want to come back and do all sorts of shit, so I gotta be deep into that shit, right? So I follow all of them, like Speed, Kai Cenat, all those other motherfuckers, and watch people get like these crazy Kick deals and all that shit. And it's like, it's getting super competitive, and Kick is not playing, bro. Like, Kick is just going after people. Like, and it's like, man, YouTube, I don't know, bro. YouTube would have fumbled if they just banned him. Because you gotta think about it, right? YouTube doesn't ban people that often. Like, so if they would have just banned him off rip, I feel like that would have, actually, now that I think about it, that would have sent a crazy message, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, I don't know. I feel
now they've kind of sent the message the opposite way, though, no?
Yeah, that's kind of, like, if you think about it.
And the thing is, the fucked up thing is that if anybody else does this shit, they're getting banned.
Yeah, but if people are gonna think that it's okay to do that now, then that's them being retarded. That's them being stupid. I'm 100%. Sorry. Like, because we all know he's only getting away with it because he's Speed. Like, hello.
Well, this is also a very surprising thing, because YouTube is usually very sensitive to their advertisers, and they're not gonna like that. So that's kind of crazy.
Think about like who's sponsoring. Look, think of the kind of sponsor that would be on a Speed video or stream, right? Because he's already like, I forgot what the term is for people that are like, he's already a brand risk anyway, right? So I'm sure it's gonna be sponsors that probably don't even care that his dick flopped out. Like, so I don't think that's the case. It's not like a lot of his audience is kids, but he's not like in that kids only thing. Like, you know how YouTube has that thing, oh, are your videos meant for kids or whatever? And if your videos are meant for kids, you have to follow like very, very strict fucking guidelines. Like, so he's obviously not in that camp, but we do know a lot of kids do follow him. So it's like, that kind of hit them. Not banning him is kind of meh, but then if they did ban him, it would have been meh too. So it's like, shit. Like, what do you do?
Bad on them for not banning him, but at the same time, it's kind of like I said, it's like, as far as the double standard situations,
I think it looks bad of them not banning him and not knowing what if there are any repercussions, what they are. Like, if there
like not having any repercussions or anything like that. Like, exactly. Yeah. Like, because it looks like he's getting off scot-free, no punishment.
They're like, kind of like your contract's up, you're like suspended, boom, no money for you. Like, tell people that. Like, but then if you think about it, if you do tell people that, who's gonna care? The kid's rich anyway, so it's like, oh wow, you get a pay cut. So what? Whoop-de-doo. Like, that don't mean shit anyway.
But it's more so just the perception of that there are rules, there are consequences. That does a lot for a lot of like creators, because then they feel like, oh, I can't just do whatever the fuck I want. Now people just feel like they just flop their meat out on stream, and I'm telling you.
Think about this, right? You go to let's say this is I'm gonna reach. Let's say you wake up, you go to work, right? Or you wake up, you go to school, right? And you just and you accidentally flop your dick out, bruh. You don't like, hello?
You're done.
That's illegal. That's illegal to do.
You're done. You're getting arrested for indecent exposure. You're getting set depending on where it's at. You're getting set as a registered sex offender.
Yeah, as part of the society,
getting fired.
We know this. We know that that's the case, right?
Yeah.
So anyone that does it, you can just consider that they're just stupid or they're just not of the right mind or whatever, right? So we know as a society that that's not something we do. So I feel like the fact that people would have to have a message sent anyway to know that that's not something that we should be doing is kind of sad. I don't know. We all know.
But I don't think it's that. I don't think people need that message. I just think it's more so that I know what you mean. It becomes a situation where now Speed is this martyr or this fucking idol, where it's like he's exempt from the rules, and now I'm gonna support him because he's fighting this. You know what I mean?
The point I was trying to make is if you look at because we could talk about the double standard shit and all that stuff, right? But the point I was trying to make is anyone that does that should get the same punishment, and it should be severe. It shouldn't be, this one person gets a 3-day ban, this other person gets a permanent ban, this other person gets a 7-day ban, 2-week ban, whatever. I think the punishment for doing anything of the sort should be the same, period. You should get a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is. It could be an hour. Whatever it is, it should be the same for everybody, right? So the fact that we're even thinking, what could they even do to Speed? They should do the same thing they would do to anybody else that would do that shit on the platform. And YouTube hasn't proven that they do anything. So who knows?
You know, it's interesting to think about. Like 20 years ago, if he did this shit, this would be a whole big thing, and it probably in terms of because I feel like him doing what he did now kind of inspires a bunch of people to just be a bunch of copycats, right? Because people are so obsessed with the idea of fame and stuff like that. They don't care how they get the fame, right? They just want the clout. They just want the fame. So if they
Clout farming dick out strats.
Yo, listen.
Go.
Y'all know how dumb I am. So I told my girl about it, right? She was like, damn, I thought that was your idea. I was like, fuck, you're right.
Bro, didn't I say that we should just do that?
I was like, bro, yes. I've always been saying yo, I'm gonna just flop my dick out one day.
Bro.
And I'm gonna just act like it was an accident.
Speed just beat us to the punch, bro.
I was in the back of my head, I was like, fuck.
Once again, we've been ahead of the curve and we were getting beat out to the punch.
I was like, I should just whip my beef out. But nah, bro, of course.
Real talk, how many ideas have we been ahead of the curve by?
A lot. I think
3 or 4.
Honestly, if you've listened to this podcast and kept the dates in mind, we've definitely been super ahead of the curve.
That's why I said when they launched Kick, bro, I was like, yo, Kick is the platform for me, bro, because I could just do whatever I want. I could say whatever I want. Fuck Twitch, fuck whatever the fuck. I can't even say fuck YouTube because YouTube is less annoying to deal with than Twitch, that's for sure.
Troll over?
I'm good.
Troll over?
Rumble.
Facebook gaming? It's gone now, right? That doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Meta?
Kind of wild though, just watching people get these crazy Kick deals and stuff and all this other shit, and it's not for no chump change either. 75 mil for 2 years, all that shit. I'm like,
that brings up an interesting point though. I saw a tweet today from Trainwreck. Well, not from Trainwreck. It was a tweet today reporting on something that Trainwreck had said that all of the fake reported contracts for kicks have actually been hurting their actual negotiations with people, which is super funny when you think about it. It makes sense, but it's super funny though. It was Kai Cenat signed by 130 mil, and it's well, why can't I get 100 mil? You ain't Kai Cenat. But anyway,
that's crazy though. I think about shit like that, and I'm like, bro, what are they? They're just paying for influence. It's so wild how simple it is, but how complicated it is. It's hard to explain. But it's man.
How do you quantify that? You know?
Right? You're getting paid this dude, your raise just got what, 75 mil to go to Kick? It's not even an exclusive deal. It's they just paying just for your influence. Like just because
Yeah,
they know you got like 20K
there's
viewers.
no guarantee, but they just know that you could reach this amount of people. So they quantify that, where they figure that it's like if you can reach this amount of people, and let's say that a third of your audience buys our product based on you promoting it, here's how much we'll pay you. Like it's easy to quantify if you think about it like that, but you have to, you have to base it on risk and other kind of things, because it's all assumption based, and it might prove better or worse depending on what the audience is, demographics.
Apparently just started the shit that they were talking about, where they're like, yeah, we're gonna pay fucking salaries, like hourly shit to people. Apparently they started that shit behind the scenes. Like, what the fuck? That's kind of crazy to think about. Like,
I mean, sign me up.
Yeah, right. Like, obviously it's only gonna be like a few people in that shit at the start, but it's like, man, that's crazy to think about. You know what that just made me think about? Actually, I need to get on my shit, because once that shit happens, everybody in there, everyone already wants to stream and be content creators. Once that happens, if that becomes the norm, everybody in their in the universe is gonna want to drop everything they're doing just to do that. So fuck that shit.
I mean, it's already started. Like, you can just see, like, just trying to be a streamer on Twitch right now is just super hyper competitive, right? Like, even
being
joining
a streamer is different than being like over. Like, anybody could just fucking cut their shit on and.
Yeah, no. Like, there's a difference between being like a streamer and actually being a content creator. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't realize that, and a lot of people don't realize
my cat on the camera and turn it on and go live. And call my cat a live streamer.
And a lot of people don't realize their reach. Speaking of reach, it kind of goes to the next point in the streamer aspect of news, which we haven't talked about because we haven't podcasted in a while, but the whole issue of Kai Cenat and the New York fiasco.
I don't even know. There's too much that I don't know to even talk about that, to be honest.
Well, I'll give a quick rundown.
I know where you were going. Yeah.
I'll give a quick rundown, right? So Kai posted on his stream, his actual stream, he posted... He went to Google Maps. He looked at a location in Washington Square Park and said, here's where we're going to be in 2 days, or so on and so forth. Giving out PCs, PS5s, giveaways, right? And people started handing out flyers and on. And then it became such a major issue. He got arrested. He got arrested. It made the local news. It made national news. It became an issue because there was incited violence and riots and all that, and he got arrested, right? And a lot of people blame Kai. And I
don't know, bro, because that's why I said I don't know enough about what happened behind the scenes to even say like what the fuck, like who did what wrong or whatever.
Yeah.
That's why, like, so I'm not gonna like comment in that vein, but I don't know. Like, people do shit like that all the time. Like, people will film a music video, like randomly in the middle of the city and have fucking crazy ass shit going on and riots and shit going on and whatever, but no one talks about it.
Yeah.
Like, so that's another thing where I feel like somebody knew what they were doing with that shit. Like. And definitely use that shit as a clout machine, because that shit happens all the time. Like, I forgot who it was that just recently made a music video in a random ass area in the city, had hell of people just running out of their apartments, fucking with their phones out, going crazy in the middle of the streets. No, why was that shit not on the news?
And here's why I think that there's the difference between that. In filming a music video. Right, and I don't know specifics. I'm not a lawyer.
There's a lot of legal shit you got to
go through. There's a lot of legal shit.
Yeah.
And I think that in filming, when you're doing that filming process for a music video, it's an established industry where they have to alert certain things beforehand, most of being the local authorities. And that's the whole issue with the Kai Cenat thing, is that he just did it. And I don't blame Kai. I think that he severely underestimated his reach.
Yeah.
Because he's the most popular streamer on Twitch. Well, there's a new top subscribed streamer on Twitch. I forgot.
Yeah, he's definitely. Kai Cenat is the dude right now.
He's up there. He's in the top 5 of most popular streamers worldwide, probably. Well, maybe not
Yeah,
worldwide.
culturally, he's the dude right now.
Yeah,
Like,
in the U.S., he's definitely like the dude, and in New York City, that's something where it's like you need a team to at least notify the local authorities so that they can have enough police presence in the area to prevent what happened. He just did it on his own, yeah, and that's the problem. And I don't blame him for that. I just think that he was kind of ignorant to his reach.
That's godlike.
You know, it's like you don't really know how many people you reach sometimes, and I think that was his case. And it incited the ultimate problem is that it incited unruly, like these kids that were there, they got unruly, they started destroying property.
Yeah, you can't say free shit to anybody. You can't say free shit to
especially
anybody,
in New York.
especially not in New York. Yeah,
especially not in New York. That's the problem.
It's a wrap. You getting jumped,
and
people getting robbed. Like it's over.
And here it is. I'm gonna draw it home to you guys even more clear. These are young kids watching Kai during the summertime where they're not in school. They have nothing to do.
Yeah.
He severely underestimated his reach during this circumstance and the situation.
That shit was wild.
And like I said, I don't think it's his fault. But I don't think that it's also a complete washout and failure because everybody's just kind of like blaming him. He got arrested, blah, blah, blah. Honestly, my brain goes to PR, right? Like if I'm a PR person for this dude and I'm trying to make things better, I'd capitalize off this by doing an event and doing an event and making something positive out of it, right? Because if this is your reach,
he was on the front page of like Daily News and every newspaper.
Yeah, but for a negative situation though.
So
he was arrested. I'm talking about spending it. I'm talking about taking that, because he's gonna have to pay a hefty fucking he may not face fucking jail time, but I think the expense of jail time is that he's gonna have to pay a hefty fine, right?
Yeah, but you think that fine isn't gonna be offset by the amount of new people that know who he is now? And the more he's gonna make 10 times that now. Yeah. Because people that didn't know who the fuck he was are gonna be like, oh shit, I wonder who that is. Why is everybody so excited to fucking see who that is? Why is everybody so excited to fucking riot in the middle of the city over this person? Yeah. Over this one dude. Like
I think that he could do a lot of good off this though, and maybe host a giveaway, host something, and do it through the proper channels now. He wouldn't even have to pay out of pocket for it. Yeah, it would be a bigger event. He wouldn't have to pay out of pocket because he can get other corporations and things that'll sponsor the event, and he wouldn't even have to pay anything. He could get paid for doing it. You know what I mean?
Well, and turn it into a even greater sponsors for the event already. I forgot who it was. Yeah, like Razer and fucking crazy ass shit. I don't know. I doubt Sony had anything to do with it, but I know Razer fucking was all over that shit. Fucking, like, I don't know, man. Like, me personally, I would do the same shit, but obviously, knowing better, I would go through the proper channels, right? Like,
yes.
But the thing is, right? Oh man,
he was in the moment.
Obviously, I can't say the word.
He was in that moment making that kind of decision. He did not know that shit was gonna blow up.
Look, bro. Look, I'll be honest with you. I think he did. Like, I don't think he knew it was gonna get. I don't think he knew people were gonna go crazy and be rioting and doing all this shit. But I'm pretty
sure
a
PS5, over a PS5.
It wasn't just PS5s. People weren't going. People weren't fucking showing up just for PS5s and keyboards and shit, bro. They were going because that's what happens when an event is happening. It's a mob mentality. People show up. They just start. I'm sure there were hella people in that crowd that didn't even know who Kai Cenat was. Like I said, they were just there because it's a mob mentality, and they're like, "Oh shit, yo!" screaming and going crazy. That's
when I was watching the news.
New York. That's what everyone does. Like,
when I was watching the news, they interviewed a lot of kids who were in the area, and they were just like, "Hey, we saw the flyers. We don't know who this guy is. We kind of just figured that we'll just go and check it out, right?"
Yeah, people.
And that's what happened.
How many people didn't even see the flyers? They saw a big crowd of people running somewhere. They followed
and
the
then
crowd
they got curious.
Like a mob.
They got curious.
Yeah, that's all people do. Like, so it's like listen. I'm pretty sure the majority of them there was not there for the. Cause if you saw the trucks that they had with the PS5 brand, they had like 20 PS5s or something like that.
Yeah,
right, bro.
Like,
but that's why
for the publicity, bro. I'm sorry, like,
bro, look. I'm not hating on the people, kind of like in a back way, just kind of observing, seeing what's going on. What I'm questioning is the 20 motherfuckers surrounding the SUV and like Like, bro,
Yeah,
are you
yeah.
serious?
Fucking stomping out
You know,
windows and shit like that, beating up the
it's like,
halal guy, the
like-
fucking.
Yeah,
like
it's
he's
like,
Kai Cenat.
what's wrong
He
with
might be
you?
the most popular like streamer, and he might, you know, the most like culturally relevant person right now on the internet, right? But he's not a billionaire. He can't afford to have entire fucking cities and blocks cut off and just to hold like, you know, his little giveaway event. So it's like stuff like that is bound to happen. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if I was doing that in the middle of the city, bro, I would bet on not the people that know that I'm doing it showing up, but all the random people that are looking out their apartment windows and seeing crowds of people run down the street, and they're like, "Oh shit, let me go see what's going on."
Yeah.
Like, because
especially
mob
in
mentality
New
that you
York,
know.
Washington Square
Exactly.
Park. This is like
And
during the
I
summer
hate
for
to
young
say it,
kids.
but I know my niggas. I know my own people.
Yeah.
You see a
Bro,
bunch of black people, bro, running
I'm
around
shaking.
screaming. Like,
bro, I'm shaking my head. This is like not a proud moment.
look, hey, look, listen. We talking about it. I can't not be honest about it. I know how it is. Like,
No, it's absolutely being
you
honest
see a
about
bunch of people, you see a crowd. It's that mob mentality. It's like, oh shit, what's going on? Like, that's just how it is. I don't know, bro.
All they need to do when they're walking towards the event is say, "Yo, they giving out free PS5s."
Yeah.
Like,
and then probably everyone was like, "Oh,
Don't
bad."
matter-
neighbors,
don't
they
matter
like,
how
like
many
to
they
swarm,
have,
right? We like
bro.
to swarm
Yeah.
in big groups.
They
We like to-
Kai could have been giving out 2 PS5s. He could have been giving out 100 PS5s.
He could have been giving away nothing. He could have
could
just
have
been
giving
in the
away
streets.
nothing, and
Like,
everyone
he
would have
could've
just been
just
like,
been
"Yo,
out in the
they
streets.
giving out. I heard they giving out free PS5s," and everyone would have mobbed in there. But that's
Bruh,
why
and
it's
then
like
they didn't have to give out PS5. They didn't have. I'm telling you right now, they didn't have to. It didn't have
It could
to
have
be
been
anything.
anything.
Yeah,
It
they
could've
could
been
have just said, "Yo, Kai Cenat and AMP and the homies is in the middle of the city," and then obviously his Twitch viewers are gonna show up.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I would keep going back to once everybody sees the commotion,
Yep.
they're gonna wonder what's up.
I don't know, man,
Like-
but there's just a bunch of people going over here, so I'm heading over there. That's it.
Am I wrong? Like that's
No,
how
you're
it
not
is.
wrong.
Like,
I would have
Bro,
went.
it's
I would have
fun-
went
it's
too
fun-
if I was in there.
I
man.
would exactly.
Yo,
I would have went.
yo,
Not gonna lie. Not
it's-
even gonna lie.
It's funny how life boils down to elementary school.
Yeah, we're all idiots.
Yep.
Like we're
Mentality.
all stupid. We're just fucking.
'Cause
we're all
it's-
animals.
cause-
Like.
Look, you've all been to New York, so you remember whenever in the lunchroom, whenever a fight breaks out,
Yeah,
right?
everybody running like, oh shit, what's going on over there?
Yeah.
Like all you hear is oh, like
But that's also why. That's also why I
shit.
said I don't blame him. I don't.
Yeah.
I just.
No, I don't blame
the
him.
thing that I blame him on is like you really got to go through the appropriate channels for that. Like
Yeah,
you can't
of
just
course.
decide out of the whim that you're gonna do it. You got to kind of have a legal team that's gonna be like, hey,
because you
man,
gotta think about it, right?
yeah, do that. shit.
Anything could have happened out there, bro. People could have got
Yeah.
shot. People
Yep.
could have been dead. Like in that would've been all
Thankfully,
on
yeah.
him.
Thankfully, nobody died.
People got injured.
People got injured.
Yeah.
People got injured, but
But
thankfully nobody died.
Nobody was shooting. Like
Yeah, no one
and
died
That
we
me
know of.
personally, that's the biggest surprise. You have
Yeah.
motherfuckers out there not shooting it up. That's wild to me. In the middle of the city.
Yo, you know what would be
Like-
crazy? Like if I had enough of influence or whatever, and I did something similar, I would have been like, look, listen, I need y'all all to fucking chill, blah blah blah. Imagine they all came chill. Yo, that would be crazy on my like influence.
Yeah, like I still
you
can't
know?
believe that he had people coming out, like, and they were all like, nobody was fucking shooting that crap up. Like, I applaud that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no.
Still a whole stupid situation, but
Yeah.
I still applaud that though, because you know New York, these motherfuckers, it don't matter what's going on. Somebody's getting shot up. Like,
So was there any update on the charges? I know you got charged, but like, what was it? Is it
No,
a
that
thing,
shit's
or-
probably gonna get dragged out for fucking months to years.
couple
They
of
haven't
months.
said much because obviously
Yeah.
they can't talk about it legally.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
all the members of that group like were like, yeah, they don't want to say nothing. They don't want to fucking create any trouble before, you know.
yeah, and like I said, I'm
Has
not
he
a lawyer.
streamed since?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
has. He has. He's
them
expressed
have,
his
yeah.
disappointment to his audience, and it's just kind of like, bro, all right, we get that. Like I said, like I don't think that he's going to serve jail time. I don't.
No,
I just
he's
think
not.
it's going to be a
They'll fine him.
super hefty fine, though. That should. I'm
No,
talking
they'll fine
about-
him. They'll
this-
fine. No.
It's definitely a
'Cause I think
six-figure
there's
fine.
a limit. I don't
At
know.
least,
Isn't there
minimum.
a limit? There's a
No.
limit to how much you can fine someone like that. Like, I don't know.
For this type of
He's
situation.
not gonna
though?
get jail time because it wasn't directly. It
He'd
wasn't
have because
really
they'd
his
have to
fault.
prove.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd have to prove that he fucking masterminded this shit.
Like,
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
It's for what?
Beyond a reasonable doubt,
Inciting a
and that's
riot.
kind of
Like
hard
he
to
didn't
prove.
purposely incite
He
a riot.
didn't. he didn't purposely do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You can get charged for all the damages and you know,
yeah,
people
sure.
injured and all that shit. Sure.
Yeah. But the thing that they could charge him for, and here's the thing, even though he didn't directly incite riots, he incited the crowd. And here's what I think that they can get him for. The city of New York can sue him for the manpower that was then needed by the police department, because that's a bunch of police officers that get called in that were not working, that had to all of a sudden probably had to do some stuff, right? And that kind of adds up, because that's citywide police. Because if you're talking about like people in the immediate area that were working, that were called to deal with the situation.
Jail time, though.
No, that's what I'm saying. No
he's
jail
not,
time.
He's not going to do no jail time.
If you think about all the police officers that were working in that area that had to then congregate to that area, and then we had to call in police officers that were not working to then work and cover their shifts. You know what I mean? Like that's salary things that can add up, and I think it's at least a 6-figure fine.
Yeah, which is nothing.
Yeah, I mean to him in the grand scheme of things, nothing. But like I said, I really think he could just super capitalize off this shit and just make a bigger event and actually go through the proper channels and then get even bigger. But you know, hey, that's
all that publicity, being on the front page of the fucking newspapers and all that shit, being on the fucking front page of all these fucking blog sites, whatever the fuck, all this shit. Like, you don't gotta do shit. That motherfucker she's just gonna keep winning. That shit crazy, bro. Like, that's wild to me that once you think about like being at the top, right? And it's like once you're at the top, you just keep going. Like, unless you're an idiot, like you can just keep going up until you fuck up, right? Until your dick flops out on camera or something like that, right? But let me tell but like, it's kind of crazy to think about it. Like, how many people you think that don't even know who he was saw that shit and now they in his stream just watching this shit daily now? Add into his viewer count, add into his sub count. Like that's wild.
That's true, but for every person who's done that, there's also a person who tuned in, watched it, and was just like, "Fuck this guy," and then stop.
Well, clearly that doesn't matter, because that's always gonna happen. For every one person that doesn't like your shit, there's probably gonna be 10 that do. Like, so it's like it's the eyes that matter. That's all that matters to him.
Yeah.
How much that exposes shit.
Like, time will tell.
That's just wild to me, bro.
Unless he flops out his BBC on stream.
He can. I mean, look. I feel like anybody.
At this point.
I mean, look. If After Speed did it, they all might as well do it.
Might as well do it. Everybody might as well do it. See what happens, right? Like, let's see if I get banned. Let's play. Who got banned?
All
Bingo.
measure each other's dicks. Like, what the fuck? That's so stupid. I still can't believe it, bro. I still can't believe that should happen. Like, oh my god!
It's all our greatest fear. If you stream without pants and you're streaming your underwears, you know what it's like.
That is my greatest fear.
I know the tech. I never stand up.
Same.
I always flip to my BRB screen when I stand up.
If I stand up, BRB. Exactly.
Or if I know I'm gonna do something on camera like that, I'm wearing shorts or something, or like whatever. You know what I'm saying? But but it'd be too hot sometimes here in California.
Look,
so yeah,
sometimes I have habits, right?
I'd be a little
like,
free.
Damn. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Like, this is TMI. But sometimes I'll be having my hands in my pants and I don't even be knowing. I don't even be realizing it, bro.
It's natural, bro. It's just natural.
Yeah. So I'd be thinking, and I'd be like, damn, what if I got up one day and my head was just there?
Not
so
gonna lie,
fuck.
yeah. Sometimes you scratch your balls and you just leave it there because it's comfortable. You're just comfortable. I already know, bro. You don't even need.
And I'd be like, shit, like someone's gonna see that shit. I'm gonna have my dick in my hand one day. It's like, oh shit, like that's wild. Being on the internet, like comfortable in your own space, but still like not at the same time. It's kind of wild. Like,
yeah, I guess you just gotta have the awareness. Like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
But whatever.
That's
but
cool.
whatever.
That's a funny ass topic. I'm not gonna lie.
What else? What else, bro?
We could
let's just all
move
flop
on.
our dicks out right now.
Speaking
turn the camera
of,
on.
Yeah, I mean we'll turn on our cams and flop out our BBCs, and we'll give out free PS5s. Speaking of which, rumors and leaks of PS5 Slim. Did you guys see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though. It's been how many years? 2-3 years? Maybe 3
it
years.
makes sense, right?
Year? Yeah.
Makes
We
sense.
usually get the Slims around the time.
I'd rather the news of a PS5 Slim than a PS5 Pro, though. To be fair,
Which is coming anyway. Yeah.
I think it's gonna come
Yeah,
anyway,
which
but
we know what's happening. Like,
to be fair, I kind of want the PS5 Slim because the PS5 is huge. God damn.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. Something about like I love it.
Overheating.
I love
overheating.
The big,
Oh,
my shit never
The
overheats.
big tower.
Like, I just it's just I
Something
like the
about
presence of
it
it,
is nice
especially when
though, right?
especially if you got it black.
Oh yeah, the
Think about
black
presence, like,
shade. I have them.
I love
my
this. Yeah,
my
my shit
my,
is black and purple.
my PS5
Like,
is definitely a BBC.
Yeah, my shit is black and purple. I just like seeing it. It's just the presence. It's just like a menace. Like this shit looks.
It's
cool.
a monolith.
I never bought slim consoles. Like unless there was like a direct advantage over the previous.
I did buy a
one,
slim
I never
console.
bought a slim console.
I bought a PS3 Slim.
I had a
Yeah.
PS2. I had
You had a PS2
I
Slim?
always had my regular PS2,
Yeah.
regular PS3. I could have got a. Actually, nah. People said I should get the PS3 Slim, but I was like, nah. PS3, the original PS3 looks too elegant.
Let me paint you guys a picture though. With the PS3, I had the fat 60 gig PS3.
The only slim upgrade that I thought was fire that I actually considered was the 360 Elite. That shit, or the 360
that's a good
Slim.
one.
I don't remember. That shit was cool. Like,
We can get into slim upgrades. That's the small black one, right?
Yeah. That shit
Yeah,
was
I know
dope.
exactly what you're talking about. We could get into slim upgrades or downgrades depending on the console. But as far as my PS3 Slim story, I had the fat 60 gig PS3, the backwards compatible bad boy. Uncharted 2 came out. I was about 8-9 hours into the game, and I got a yellow light of death.
Yellow light like that.
Damn.
Got him.
So my disc was stuck in that shit. And I went and I looked up how to fix it. I bought a heat gun and I went through the process. And at least to my recollection, I fixed it, got the disc out, and I went that same day though and bought a PS3 Slim because the PS3 Slim was already out. So I bought a PS3 Slim and just wanted to continue my playthrough, got all my saves, cloud saves, all this and that.
Yeah.
I gave my PS3 60 gig to my friend because he said he was gonna sell it. That was why I ended up with a PS3 Slim.
I mean,
Other
if
than
your shit
that,
breaks,
yeah.
or if you have a reason to, or you don't have one already, then of course you get the most economic. It's probably going to be cheaper.
It was cheaper.
It's probably
yeah,
going to
it was
leave
absolutely cheaper.
a less of a footprint. It's not going to be as big, of course, right? But yeah, we knew this was coming. I mean, cool. Like,
I mean, but the thing is, like,
it's not as interesting. I prefer it over a PS4 Pro announcement, but it's not as interesting to me. But
do we know the size, like how much smaller it is compared to original PS4?
we don't know the size because it's like a leak and a rumor. They're reporting
it's probably
on
going to
it.
be significant.
It's judged. They're judging it by the dude's hands that's holding it, but they're like, we don't know if he has like humongous hands. We don't know if it's actually smaller than it appears because we don't know the size of the guy's hands on camera.
That's fair because my hands are giant.
With that being said, though, in a world
This
that
guy's
we
hands are
live
giant using a PS1
with,
controller, though. Unbelievable.
yeah, in a world that we live with 3D printing, it's kind of one of those situations where we actually kind of don't know if this is real or not, right? Like someone could have 3D printed this shit, posted a video.
We know it's coming. I'll wait for
We
the
do
official
know it's
announcement
coming,
to see
so
what it looks like.
it's fun. It's fun to like just kind of think about it, right? And apparently this comes from a reputable source, from what I understand. Like that's why they're reporting on it in Digital Foundry, which is the video we got playing in the background. I think the most interesting thing about it, though, and it makes the most sense, which is why I think it adds legitimacy to it, is that it kind of looks like Sony has figured out some modularity to it, where they can make a base PS5 and then decide whether or not they're adding the disc or not. Yeah. And I think that
cool.
is huge as far as sales and production and saving them money while maximizing profits goes, which is like, I don't give a shit because fuck corporations, but like it makes super sense and it adds a little bit of legitimacy to it. That's what I think. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Which PS5 sold the most?
That's a good question. I actually don't know that.
I would think it'd be the digital one, but we should double check that.
I feel like the digital one was more available and it was cheaper.
Yeah, it was $100 cheaper. So unless you were like one of those people like kind of like Guy Manley, who just really likes the physical stuff, or Cosmic Kaiser really likes physical stuff. Like me, I grew out of that. Like I don't care. I'd rather keep things digital, and it was $100 cheaper. That's like my thing. It was just hard to get. So then I had, like at the time, like if I had to buy a PS4, I probably had to buy the one with this, but it's not the one I wanted.
Yeah.
So,
so I'm pretty sure we could just assume the digital one sold the most until we find actual concrete, I guess, numbers for that. But the thing is, right? PS5 Slim. I want to see like an actual, like an official. I want to see what it looks like, because I could assume that, because the PS5 is huge, man. So I could assume that the Slim is gonna be pretty fucking significant, like significantly smaller, right? But the thing is, man, that thing, like, PS5 is a little beast, bro. Like, how much smaller could you make it? Like, I don't know. How much smaller could you make it without sacrificing that shit, like blowing the fuck up? I don't know, because it's big for a reason. Like, the thing is huge for a reason, so that it has adequate cooling. So what are they gonna do? And we already heard issues of that shit overheating before. Obviously, as the years go on, it gets more efficient and all that shit. They start fucking, making it better. But I don't know. I just want to see what it looks like. I want to see how small it actually can be. Cause shit, I might, if it's, I don't know, I might get it. Put that shit in my living room or something. I don't know. If anything. Actually, now that I think about it, y'all remember the Xbox Series S? That's just tiny as fuck. That's just really small.
Yeah, it's just really small.
Like the size of, like, shit. I can't even compare it to anything right now, but I think it's
PS2.
Tiny, so who knows?
Actually, I think it's part of PS2 Slim. Yeah, PS2 Slim size. It's really small, and I think that's why Xbox is like, hey, we're not coming out with the Slim because we already have one, technically, right?
That shit shouldn't be a thing, bro. That shit needs to go. Fuck that
I think it's just the Slim is always, like, technology is always going to get smaller, right? Like, it's I think the allure, I should say, is that the slim size of the PS5 is it going to also have efficiency, right? Like decreased power consumption, increased cooling, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like that, and it probably will. Like, that's the thing. Most of the time
they put them out in the first place, so and then they could stop selling the original PS5s at a loss. Actually, I think they stopped selling them at a loss,
oh yeah, because they increased the price. Remember?
Yeah.
I think it was like. I think that this allows for the purchase of bundles, the announcement of bundles, the sale of more PS5s, more production, a different version. Like I said, depending on the size, and let's see how smaller it is. And like I said, that modularity between disc and digital, like they no longer have to make one of each. They could just make a base unit and then make disc units and then add it to those units to sell them. It's all speculation.
The funny part is the plates make the shit look way beefier than it actually is. If you think about it, because when you take the plates off, it doesn't even look that big.
Yeah.
So, I think that's cool.
Yeah, it's more so like seeing the actual dimensions and measurements if it ever gets announced. Which maybe they'll announce it at Gamescom. Who knows? Maybe next week we'll find out about it. And we'll see.
Where's the Pro at? I wonder if when the Pro comes out, if actually what the crazy part is, if the Pro comes out, probably gonna do really well because a lot of people still don't have that fucking shit. They're gonna like, well, why would I go buy the original? I just go buy the Pro.
I probably would want to buy the Pro anyways because for more of the performance power, right?
Yeah, I'm probably I'm gonna get it anyway.
Yeah, I think it's gonna depend on the performance jump. Well, there is gonna be a performance jump, but just how much of a performance jump is it going to be, and is it gonna be worth it for the price?
It doesn't have to. The irony is that it doesn't have to be that big because a console, like any upgrade, is a fucking upgrade for a fucking console, right? And the console's how many years old now? 3. Like, so by the time it comes out, it'll probably be like 4 or 5 years old. Shit, at that point, I want this entire generation to just be scrapped. Like, just PS6 and whatever the new Xbox or Nintendo is, because this generation is just dumb.
Yeah, you think they're just gonna move on to PS6 way sooner, or you think they're gonna wait?
It might be sooner, decade? But I think they're gonna.
I think they're gonna drag it out.
Yeah.
Because remember when console life was like 4 years? You remember that shit?
4 years.
Yeah,
that
it's
was-
usually about 4 years.
I think that was back in like the earlier days, because
90s.
when it dropped to like N64, I think that's when it started to stretch to like 7 years average, I believe.
92 to 96, and then it was like 96 to 2000, 2000 to 2000. Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, after that generation is.
And then because
It started
PS4
to
lasted like 9 years.
Yeah, PS4 lasted a long time. It surpassed the 7-year mark at that point because of the Pro. And I think if they do release a PS5 Pro, then we're not seeing the next generation of consoles anytime soon. I think if it's just the Slim, like there's no Pro and it's just a Slim, then I think we'll get a PS6 as opposed to like a Pro model. But I could be wrong, you know what I mean? Like I'm not working for Sony. I don't know. I think it would make the most sense to just go into, because technology is starting to move so fast now, and specifically with the issues that they were having with supply for the PS5s with COVID and everything like that. I think that if the technology and everything is right for a PS6, then why not just go straight to that and make a unit? But then again, sales could be made by stretching it, you know, by making a PS5
do what every
Pro.
other piece of technology does and just fucking make a new console every other year. Like, I don't understand like this, why we're in this archaic fucking like console cycle of 6-7 years, bro. Like, gaming is already probably one of the most expensive hobbies to have. Like, so it's like people will buy a phone every. Yeah, I understand the difference, but it's like if you can buy a phone for $1,000 every year, like I buy a phone every other year. Right, I buy fucking like PC GPUs and CPUs come out every single fucking year. Like, it's like I want a console every fucking year, every other year. Obviously, you don't have to buy it every other year, but there should be upgrade paths every other year. Because when I buy a console, like ever since like 2016, when I first started playing shit on PC, right, console generations don't feel like much to me anymore. Like, it's like, oh cool, this console is going to be great for the 1 year where the technology in it is relevant, right? Mm-hmm. And then the year after, it's already outdated. The year after that is even more outdated. Like,
because remember, back in the day, consoles
were bleeding edge.
The you know, but now they're not. Now they're behind.
Yep.
And they never gonna be able to catch up to like PC or anything.
Consoles
like
were the bleeding edge back then. You're right. Yep. But it's like that doesn't mean that they have to fall behind as bad as they do now. Like.
Yeah, well, because they're scared people are not gonna buy it or whatever. I don't believe it. I know. I'm not. I don't. But I think that's the concern.
I feel like you know what? Last generation was. I said it when the PS4 Pro dropped and the Xbox. What was it? The Xbox One X or whatever it was. I was like, this is probably the beginning of like mid generation. They're gonna start doing that shit. Like, and. I hope people are like, man, I don't want a PS5 Pro. People can barely get PS5s now. Oh, that doesn't stop the market. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't stop. Like, they still gotta make shit. They still gotta make money. You know what I mean? So
PS5s are more available now, and they'll make PS5 Pros even more available than that. So like that, the market has changed from where it was when the PS5 first released, and I think that kind of logic is just kind of like. I think that's just a hesitancy of people. Like, I just got my shit, and now I need to spend money on an upgrade. No, you don't. You don't have to, right?
Yeah, and that's the whole to buy shit.
That's the whole thing with the phone market. I think you bring up an excellent point because like people pay $1,000 for a new phone, but it's like, do you need a new phone? There are people who just have that need where they're just like, I need an upgrade every year, and if you got the money to do so, more power to you. But my dude, I am not buying a new phone every year. I'll buy it when my shit starts to feel outdated, right? Like
I'm not. Is like, I buy a new phone every year because I buy it when my contract ends. Every other year.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing though. That's the contract and leasing, right?
Like, yeah. So
that
like whatever.
Oh God,
and usually every other year is when the phones are actual upgrades. Like every year, they get that like little updates or whatever. But usually every 2 years is when the phones get like when technology actually gets fucking. Every other generation is when things get good, right? That's like GPUs. Like I'm skipping the 4000 series, but I'm gonna get the next one, right? Like, so
that reminded me of something though. That reminded me of why I thought the initial announcement of the Xbox and the Series S was such a great thing, because when they initially announced it, they announced them shits with remember they announced it with like kind of like a lease where it's just like they announced contracts, and I said that's great for people in poverty that just cannot afford this shit, right? Like that was my thing. I was just like, this is a huge deal for people in the hood that they want a new console, but they could now get it as part of a contract. That's how people get phones.
A lot
now.
of things do that now. Everything does that now. Every time you go and check out on a website, it's like, oh, pay this in 4 installments of this and that and whatever. So that's just all over the place. And it's like, I feel like gaming is like, I don't know. If we're either gonna go in that route, in that direction of everything is gonna start being like digital and fucking the cloud based and whatever, right? Or we're just gonna have like shit every fucking year, or both. It's probably gonna be both. Like I do want, everyone always argues with me like, I don't want to buy a console every fucking year, every other year. I'm like, okay, that's great, but I still, me personally, I want the tech. I like tech. I like shit to keep up. Like I don't like knowing that I bought a console today and it's outdated next month. Like that doesn't feel good to me. Like it doesn't feel good that I have a PS5 sitting right here, but I also have a PC that runs everything that I can play on PS5 better, right? So then what the fuck was the point of me buying this shit? It was great that 1 year where I played Demon Souls and Ratchet and all that shit. Yeah. And that's another reason why I started hating, like I love exclusives, but part of me actually hates it because it forces me to buy all that shit that I don't fucking need because I got a PC. You know what I'm saying? Like if PC didn't exist, then that'd be great. You'd be like, oh shit, exclusives. Yeah, man, I gotta get the PS5 for this game. I gotta get the Xbox for that game. But PC kind of ruined me, bro. It kind of ruined my whole mindset. Like, it's like why? Like, why do I have a PS5? I know why I have a PS5. Obviously, I got it for Final Fantasy and then Ratchet and Clank and all this shit. But then it's like Ratchet just dropped on PC last month,
and Final Fantasy is dropping on PC next year.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
It's exclusivity. It's that the kind of time frame, that timed exclusivity now, and just going back to the point where it's just like, if you do want to release new tech, like let's say they wanted to release a new console every 2 years, like let's say they go to that time cycle, the thing that's preventing them of doing that, I honestly think, is sales loss, because they're already selling the consoles initially at a loss and then making it up with the infrastructure of like selling games, right? And I think that if you try and relate that to the cell phone market, because I think it's a vastly different market, but it's the closest thing that we got to like upgrading devices and making that money back, right? Because that goes into contracts. You get $1,000 phone, you're not paying $1,000. Instead, you're paying $100 a month over the next like several years because you're paying for a contracted service, right? So I think the way gaming could go into that is that they can start to go into, like you said, well, like not necessarily the cloud-based service, but as far as like the Xbox Game Pass exists, and it's a subscription-based service, right? You're paying for the service and you get the device for free. You know what I mean? Like,
so like internet,
way, right? Think about it this way, right? The reason why it doesn't happen in the console space is because it's too expensive to keep up with current technology. If for a PS5 to be the same, to be equivalent to whatever we have on PC right now, it would need to be like $1,000 or more. That's the reason why. Like it's. But the thing is, right? You can do that every other year or every 2-3 years, and just have the people that have that kind of money just buy them. Like the market is there clearly because people buy fucking GPUs every single time one comes out. Like, so it's like. Yeah, that's the main reason why, is because let's say when the PS5 dropped, what came out? And the 3000 series came out when the generation started. And then this was like what, $900 maybe. So let's see, what's the PS5 equivalent to? Probably like a 3070 something, right? Like 3070 Ti, whatever. And that's like what, $500-$600 or something like that. At launch, it was like $500. Like alone, that's the GPU by itself, $500, right? So then you got to think about all the other components that are in the console, the hard drive, the CPU, the memory, the fucking all the other shit. And that would be like $1,000 console. So I get that. But I will buy that $1,000 fucking console. You know what I'm saying? Like
the market's there. Look, the market's there because they're enthusiasts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Your argument about the phones kind of convinced me on this whole thing. Yeah, just fucking have consoles be $1,000, bro. People aren't gonna buy them. I feel like gaming has entered popular culture enough where it could be like a phone. Like, you know what I
definitely
mean?
do that shit. Everybody fucking
Yeah.
plays these shit.
People will-
Everybody buys
Yeah,
them.
People will
everyone's
buy
a
them.
gamer now, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
People will buy
Like-
them, bro, and then people will buy deals to pay less for them and pay over time. They will because they
I
will
definitely-
do
yeah,
what they
absolutely.
can afford to reach what they want, right? That's the whole thing with the phone market. I'm no longer buying cell phones, right? Or sorry, I should say like I'm no longer contracting cell phones because I don't need me personally. I don't need the new phone every year. What I need is a new phone every few years, but I will pay outright to own it because I could then sell my shit and then pay for the new one and I'll pay the $1,000 because I know I'm getting a product that I'm going to use for the next 3 years before I need a new one. I
Yeah.
think with consoles, it's the same thing. Like I bought my PC, it's the same thing. I'll buy a PC outright the same way. And that doesn't even come with a subscription service or anything like that. I'm paying for Steam. I'm paying for like, you know, my games and shit like that. But the product itself, it gets daily use. And that's the thing. Like if I upgrade it, I could decide to. I haven't upgraded my PC for like since I bought my 2070 Super, which was 3 years ago at this point, 4 years ago at this point, right? Like it's about time I get a new PC, and I've saved up my money as a responsible human being, I should say. I've saved up money for an upgrade because not everybody's the same way, you know? And I could get a new PC and have it fit my needs, you know what I mean? Like, and I think everyone's different, right? And you have to understand that there are people in poverty that can't really deal with that.
Yeah, of course.
They can't meet that. But I think that contract structure, even though it does kind of trap you, but it makes that lifestyle affordable to you at that moment. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's a deep rabbit hole, and I think that you really need to take. If you're like Sony or Microsoft, you really need to take that leap. And Microsoft is probably in the best position to do it, to be honest, because they can
Microsoft
start to sell
They have nothing to
devices.
lose. Well, I don't
They have
think
nothing to
but they have
lose.
the least amount to lose. Yeah.
Because their gaming division, as far as what they make, they have the least amount to lose.
They make so
where
much money.
They can
regardless.
just sell
Like,
devices that stream Game Pass games, and based on your device, depends on what games you play. Bang,
they were
boom,
doing
bada
that.
boom,
They were
done.
trying to get Game Pass on the Switch. They were trying to get Game Pass on PlayStation. They have Game Pass on TVs and shit. They have like they were trying to put that shit on everything. And honestly, I'm with that.
I'm going to
Like-
bank on it. This is another thing that we are right now. The conversation we're having is super ahead of the fucking curve. And when it gets announced later down the line, a year from now, 6 months from now, we're just going to look back at this cast and just be like, well, we did it again. You need to be listening to Freaks and Peaks. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We got to feel ourselves every now and then.
Yeah.
I really think we're on to something here. Microsoft, if you're listening, holla at your boy.
Exactly. So is this everything we want to talk about, or is there anything else?
I think that's it
There's
for
always
today.
something else.
I mean, there's always something else. Like we could definitely
Yeah.
talk
There's always
about
something
Red
else.
Dead. I think we could talk about Red Dead.
We could
but
go. We could go for like 8 hours. We could go like.
Red Dead is kind of a developing port right now. Like they just started
Yeah,
dropping
we should
videos
wait.
about it
Let's not even
today.
talk about it.
Yeah.
It's another shitty Rockstar port. Like,
No, actually,
nah, it sucks.
it's
That shit is trash.
it's worth talking about. We'll talk about it next time, though. I think that we can end for today.
Game is like a
And
decade-old game, and you gotta.
There's a lot of things I hate about it, and there's a lot of things that's just kind of like, well, you know, they played it safe. But we'll talk about that next time, guys. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Freaks and Peaks. We'll continue with the discussion on the live stream. If you're watching and check it out, twitch.tv/superfreak187 for now until it gets its own channel. And then you could just tune in on the YouTube channel and watch the edited version. But we will see you guys again next week for sure. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out.
Later.
Peace.